This is Jerry Beck, and I'm here watching Madeline with the film's narrator, Gladys Holland. Hi, Gladys.
Hello, Jerry. How are you?
Fine. How did you get cast on this cartoon?
Well, I was doing radio at the time, and I was trying to meet as many people as I could in order to get more jobs. Somebody gave me a piece of paper with some names on it of people who made cartoons, and one of them was UPA. So I was just learning how to drive in Los Angeles, and I don't know how I found it, but I believe it was in Toluca Lake, and I found a private home with a big sign saying UPA. So I stood in front of it watching, wondering what to do, and I heard a voice that said, "May I help you?" And I said, "What do you do here?" And she said, "Why don't you come in and find out?" And she was the secretary, and she introduced me to the material, and the material was placed on the walls all around, with a storyline. And I stopped at one, and I noticed it was something French, or from a French story. So I was delighted, and I started reading it aloud. And I went all around the room, and I kept on reading until the end. And when I was finished, a voice behind me said, "You've got the job." And that's how I was cast in narrating Madeline, which was my first cartoon. And it was nominated for an Academy Award.
Now, it didn't win the Academy Award, unfortunately. Another cartoon won, a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
Yes.
Didn't you tell me you had a prejudice against that cartoon?
I had met Hanna-Barbera, and I was talking to Mr. Hanna, who did the Tom and Jerry cartoons. And he had heard that I narrated Madeline, and he asked me if I could do a German accent. And I said, well, I learned English and German in school, so I can do a German accent. So he said, okay. He said, we haven't decided yet if we're going to have a man or a woman to narrate it. If it's a woman, you will get it. If it's a man, it will be someone else, a man. So the cartoon was shown, and it was Johann Maus, and it won the Academy Award. And I was so upset that I refused to go and see that cartoon until years later, when I was at the Motion Picture Academy and they were showing the Oscar-winning movie of that year, plus the cartoon, which was Johann Maus. And it was so great. And Hans Conried did the narration, and he was so wonderful that I finally forgave them for winning the Oscar.
Now, did you work with Hans Conried in The Emperor's New Clothes? That's another UPA cartoon on this set.
Well, he wasn't there when I did it. I did the women and the little boy on the Emperor's New Clothes. And then I found out afterwards, when I saw the cartoon, that Hans Conried did the narration. But that was also the first time I ever played a little boy. Every time I did something, it was something new, and I didn't even know if I could do it. But all of a sudden they said, Gladys, can you do it? And I said, yes. And then I learned to do it.
You also worked with Walter Lantz a little bit?
Yeah, the Woody Woodpecker cartoons, yes. They used to call me whenever there was an accent in it, and then I would come and do it. And I never really saw the cartoons, except for the one that I did when I did a very sexy French voice, and they said, it's so funny, you must see it. Then they showed it to me. It was a very heavy-set, fat Woody Woodpecker, and with a very, very sexy voice.
Now, you worked a lot on radio as well.
Yes.
Radio, and you also did some small parts in films?
Yes.
Yes. And you worked with people like Alfred Hitchcock?
Yes, I did. I was in To Catch a Thief. And I have another story about To Catch a Thief. I did the French part, the opposite Cary Grant, when he drops a coin in my dress at the gambling tables, when he tries to get the attention of Grace Kelly and her parents. I did that. But when the picture was over, I got a call, and they said, Gladys, we are doing a movie called To Catch a Thief, and we were wondering if you would do some voices in it. Well, for the first time in my life, I think I kept my mouth shut, and I didn't tell them that I had already been in the movie. And I said, yes, I'll come over. And I went over there, and they gave me the lines I said at the beginning of the movie when somebody discovers that the jewels have been stolen, and you're supposed to shout, and it's au secours, appelez la police, on a volé mes bijoux, and that was it. So I went over there, I signed a new contract, never telling them that I already had a contract with them, and did that job. So I have 2 jobs on the picture.
What else can you remember about Madeline? Had you seen the book before, or were you just introduced to this when you saw the storyboard?
No, I didn't know the book. That's why I was so interested in reading it, because I thought, what a delightful story, But no, I didn't know it.
Did this get any extra attention at the time when the cartoon came out? Did you record it, and was it kind of forgotten, or did you know when it was released?
I didn't know when it was released, but I was living at the Hollywood Studio Club at the time, and they were showing the Oscars. And all of a sudden, they had the announcement, and they gave the name, and I said, I did that, I narrated that. And then I had the disappointment that it didn't win.
And close the door. And that's all there is. There isn't any more.